New Eden. A galaxy made up of salt, broken relationships, and the $10 scam. A galaxy where you can get a happy ending, but only if you pay a little extra. A galaxy home to a podcast greater than the Catskill Academy, Trekcast, and Echoes from the Front combined. Live on Discord, it's the Echoes of New Eden podcast. We bring you the finest in little-known facts from around the galaxy since 2020. If it's almost news, we'll cover it. Hello everybody, and this week's episode of Echoes of New Eden is brought to you exclusively here on Discord. We're coming from you live from the Torno Space Lane Control Center. My name is Rambo, and with me as always is my partners in crime, Taylor, Rick, and Crimson King. Taylor.
That's amazing. I had no idea.
That was rad. I like that.
Do your introduction. What the hell?
Yeah, it's Taylor Rick. I don't even know. I'm just sitting here laughing like, holy shit. It's another week, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at it again, live, of course, over on Discord, as Rambo just said in the intro. It's a wonderful intro. He does a great job with those, as always. And then Crimson King is here, and he told me before the show in our little studio staff chat that he was going to speak up and interrupt today. I hope you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will happily step on folks and try and get my points across. You got to remember though, I came to this as a fan. I am listening to you two just as much as the audience is. I am stoked to be a part of this. So let's go.
Yeah, we're happy to have you too.
So in case there's the honk. In case nobody knew, Taylor Rick was on one of the latest Scipio videos that went viral in his interview for being a content creator. So if nobody's checked that out, go check out Taylor Rick and all the crap that he had to say over there.
That was fun.
He's talking mad shit.
Yeah, about halfway through, so I'm gonna finish up watching that after this too. So if you guys do, or if you have seen it, please no spoilers in chat unless you absolutely hate me. But I am excited to listen to the rest of that.
Well, here they come. So no, I'm kidding.
Here they come. All right. And yes, another week has passed by in New Eden, and man, we got tons of stuff. It amazes me how much stuff that just happens just naturally in the game. It's not even like
it does.
It's game. It's like most of it's like community stuff, like what happened in New Eden. And one of the first things to happen. Okay, so I'll go over the show. So we're gonna have some special guests. We're gonna talk about some things. We're gonna have some special guests. We'll have Cairo on tonight, and then I don't see Linwood in the chat right now, but he was supposed to be in the chat, or he'll be coming on after Cairo, and then we'll be getting to Who Wants to Be a Billionaire once again. I still have a lot more ISK to give away, so we need winners, and we need questions too. Oh, and I have voicemails. So within the last week, we had people throw in some voicemails, and some of them are funny, some of them are comments, and one I even called back. So I'll play that clip too. So, it's overall great time. People leave voicemails, and then also that number they can text. And for those of you on Discord, there is a channel specifically and has the number included on that. You can call that number, you can text that number, and you'd be basically talking to me.
Yeah.
So
just give the number out, right? The number is 928-224-9027. Operators are not standing by, although Rambo will apparently call you back and record the message to play and shame you right here on air.
Yes. I will record what I say, and I will shame you.
It'll be great. It'll be great.
Yes. Operators are recording, so discretion advised. So yeah, it's a good time, and we just have a pretty interesting show. So yes, we had the voicemails, but I wanted to talk about this Rorqual kill. A couple weeks ago, we talked about some Rorqual kills that were like some of the first, right? And I do quotations, some of the first. They were on the Chinese server.
Mm-hmm.
Now, SHH just got one last week. And let me get that kill mail. SHH got one. And here, I'm going to link it into the on-air chat. Worth a whopping 127 billion and some change. So supposedly, this is the first Rorqual kill on our server. Is there
Yeah.
anybody to deny that? Could we say that this is the first?
I think it is the first. I did it barely
Show me the
beat
kill
out
mails.
Maddie for the biggest loss mail, just barely by 2 billion. I don't see any other loss mails from anybody, and I have been asking around. So it does seem like it is the first, and Damon concurs too that he's the first one he's
Yep.
seen as well. So it is definitely the first. 127.2 billion roughly. It did drop its tactical module, the Sea Lion, the blue one. I believe that's the blue one. I think is the Sea Lion. And yeah, I have no idea who the hell KY Jelly. I don't know who KY Jelly is, but they certainly got it up to you know what. So, but
Well, I believe it's a Chinese corp in Delve.
Oh,
in
geez.
TSC.
yeah. So,
They are in TSC.
oh, they're in the Space Cows. Oh, good. All right, cool.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So
Even
that
better.
that pilot is hating life probably.
Oh
right
God,
now.
you have to
Yeah.
be. You have to be.
Someone tipped the big cow. It is a hamburger, is what we're looking at there in chat.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Thousands of
So-
hamburgers probably in real life money,
Yep.
or maybe not.
And
I
what
wanna-
was the
I wanna
date
build
on
one of
this?
those calculators
Hold on.
that converts ISK to. Oops, sorry, go on.
Right.
No, you're fine.
7-1. So this happened last Friday.
Right before
literally
the
the
holiday
night,
break.
know,
Yeah. So he had the shittiest 4th of July if he's in the United States. If he's overseas, then he doesn't care. But
Fireworks.
yeah, fireworks one way or the other.
Oh yeah, they got fireworks.
Poor
So,
bastard. I mean, on one hand, I feel bad, but on the other hand, it's kind of like, oof, why was he all alone in the middle of
it's
nowhere?
it's so cringe.
How
Oh
could
my
you
God.
just do that?
Drinking as it went down was nice and cold because like, oof.
Yeah, 127B. And
I can't tell if Rosalind is being a smart ass or not, but he says, can you please go into what you really feel this is worth?
well, that's the thing is he had that module on that's worth 52 billion alone.
All by itself, yes.
Thousands of
Yeah.
hamburgers.
Yeah. And that
So-
thing is just crazy. It's the tactical module that's really amping that thing up. I think the Rorqual itself is just the whole is 40 billion roughly. So I mean it did not drop.
Yeah. What's the net ease estimate?
Yeah.
I don't, yeah. What can you get away with, and what do they say you can get away with?
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
sell and buy there.
Yeah. So
I
that is we'll call it the first, and that went to specifically Bot 5 Alliance,
Mhm.
which also happened to be in first place on the Capital leaderboard. In case nobody's seen that.
Yep. FKG,
So,
fuck the black screen is what that stands for, I believe.
Really? I
Yep.
didn't know that.
It does, yeah. Well, I live right next to him,
I
so
think-
yeah. See it all the time.
Actually, I think their corp is just called Black Screen, isn't it?
Yeah, so it looks like FKG black screen. So fucking black screen.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
It's interesting. Yeah, Bot 5 are beasts.
They are.
They
I
are.
love having them as neighbors.
Are they,
Okay.
are they good neighbors,
No, I mean that in
or-
a good way. I really love having them as neighbors. I just wish we could get in on some more kills. That's all. They seem to take all of them before they get to me.
Right.
Ah. So you're looking for a lower fence, not a higher one there.
Yeah.
Come join their parties. Invite yourself, my dude. Crash the fleets and hope things go well.
Yeah, sometimes. Ah, there it is. There's a map of where it was in Delve. Rosalind just put up in chat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rosalind.
So that's a big ouch, and yeah, I guess we'll call that the first on our server.
Mm-hmm.
So good on to them guys that got the tackle. See, Maddie was on that kill mail. He's like freaking everywhere. I don't understand
Yeah.
it how he can be everywhere at once.
I think he's
It's-
just
I
got
will-
someone's got him on speed dial, and they just call
He's
him
got
the minute
the-
anything happens and get in here, and he goes.
His jump clone skill has to be off the charts. He's jumping all over the place.
Right?
He's
Yeah,
got one in every
He's
neighborhood.
777 jump.
he's wiping his exactly. He's wiping his credit card to get the pay the plex for the next one to skip the cooldown. You know.
So we'll lean in, we'll segue into recent salt in the community, and this could be pretty juicy. I've noticed over the past week there has been quite a bit of salty people posting in local chat, and I've seen some from SHH, I've seen some from Reddit, and if anybody hadn't seen that Reddit post already about the "Who's the asshole" post, um,
Oh man.
they had some blue on blue salt there, and the comments are pretty good, so I'd recommend reading that. And if you hadn't read it yet, post a Echoes of New Eden brought me here post, and I'll enjoy seeing that. But that guy got really salty over 51 million kill mail, and
I gotta wait
in a
to
magnet.
comment on that until after all the Diplo works out. But yeah, it's good.
In the screenshots, for those that hadn't seen it yet, the guy states that like he lost not everything he had. Actually, I had it brought up here. He said, "You cost me a lot of resources. Don't care about the lame excuse." in a kill mail worth 51 mil.
Oh God.
What do you think the Rorqual pilot was thinking?
No
if he saw
shit.
this screenshot?
No shit.
If he saw this lost mill worth 51 mil, what do you think the Rorqual pilot's saying?
Dude.
He's got to be cussing. He's got to be cussing the screen out. You don't even know, you dumb mother.
So that's the point I want to make here. That's kind of the point I want to make here is the fact that some people get really salty on even less. I've seen kill mails worth 9 million and people MF the chat.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean by MF, right, Taylor?
I do now. Yes, thank you. You schooled me last week. Yeah.
And I'm seeing this. I'm like, okay, you know, and I posted my comment on there. It's like stuff happens. You know, I've locked people sitting at gate camps because the standings didn't populate fast enough. I had that happy finger, right? I was tapping to lock them as they were neutral, and then all of a sudden the game delays, and then bam, they're blue or green, right? So, or maybe red too. So who knows, right? But I've been happy in that sense too, and tried targeting people, and they're like, "Hey, whoa, settle down there, Chief. I'm just passing by." I'm like, "Yeah, I know you were neutral for a second there, but you know, I wanted to get you." So yeah, there shouldn't be, and I'll lean into this next one too. And I saw another one in the salt mines on SHH. And the thing about the Reddit post was in the comments about other alliances. Like, other alliances are into that shit. SHH, they live for the salt.
Oh yeah.
No, please stop. They live for that stuff.
Yep.
If you post stuff to those members, you could pretty much guarantee it getting screenshot and posted to their salt mine channels for other members to basically laugh at. You already know it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, let the salt flow. They drink that stuff in. They live on it. It is fuel.
And I want to say it was Nihilus back when he was executor. He said and it's possible it still is, the salt mine on SHH is the most popular channel.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so
It's got to be a show.
That's where everybody goes to.
Watching.
And it's pretty entertaining.
Their shit over.
And this next one I'm going to comment about. The guy that got the kill, he was in a Daredevil. He warped in on a procurer. I think it was worth 139 million and some change or something like that. And something happened. Either that guy was AFK or wasn't paying attention. He couldn't cloak, and so he ended up dying by this Daredevil. Well, then he later just messages the person who killed him. They must have went back and forth. Taylor, I pinged you in that. They must have went back and forth for I don't know how long, 50 or so messages.
Well, it was the same guy
and this guy.
Yeah, it was the same guy that one of my guys killed, and he had screenshots that he dumped in there too. They weren't as good, but they were still crazy. This guy gets pissed every time he loses something, and the first thing he says is, "Oh yeah, scan for me now. Guess what I'm in? I'm in my procurer." What the?
Yeah. Well, and he's telling. And he's telling people to get out of his system, and he's like enforcing. He's like, "You can't be here," and the guy's like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I said so."
Yeah,
like, that's not a okay. Why don't you?
So, yeah.
Yeah, why don't you chase me out or something like that? But
Yeah.
he's just like verbally saying, no, you can't be here, right? And so he ends up dying. Long story short, this dude got really salty and he was throwing everything out there. F your mother, F your dog,
Oh
like,
yeah,
do
it
this,
was
do
bad.
that, calling
No,
them apes. Now,
the cure to salt, and I swear this, is having friends. Like you gotta call for help and at least have commiserators like to come and pick up the pieces with you, man. Like those salty back and forths. I hope those people manage to find a good corp, manage to find a good alliance, manage to stop fucking crying.
yeah. And
That's where most people don't
the
understand about
Rockwell
this game.
kill,
We say it all the time, but most people just don't understand that about this game. This game is about loss.
Yeah, you have to make losing fun, and then figure out how to like eke the win. It's very much like a roguelike.
Yeah.
Or Dark Souls. Like it's World of Warships meets, I don't know, like social Dark Souls. It's fucking weird. This game is wild. One of my articles this week actually talks about like different games and the end games within them and how you can find the same within echoes. So like I don't know, the number of things you can do with it is amazing. Yeah. I'm rambling again. See, this is what happens when you get me like stepping in and
Go
talking
for it.
my-
No, it's great. You know,
Yeah.
it's someone posted in the on-air chat. We need like a big "you died" or "you failed"
Yeah,
or something.
suicide.
Well, remember how we used to have
Double
those
kill.
graphics issues every once in a while, and we would see these huge
Kill.
Mario type letters around where everybody's ship is supposed to be. That's what needs to happen when you die.
Overkill.
Could you imagine if they replaced black screens with "You Died"? In the,
Yeah.
oh
Or
yeah.
like off GTA or like off Grand Theft Auto, wasted.
Yeah, or just give us a
it's not
heartbeat
fun.
that speeds up and then flatlines.
Yeah,
Dummies.
wasted.
Hope you're safe.
So
Good luck.
let's take something out of this. Don't get so salty over
Yeah.
small kills like that. And considerably, those are small kills. People are losing capitals. People are losing Rorquals. People are losing much more expensive ships. And that level of salt, I guess. And even then, I've seen people get blacklisted for less.
Yeah, that's
Honestly.
enough salt for thousands of hamburgers.
You know, and should those people, I don't know. I have a feeling if they're in my corp or if they're in my alliance, I have a feeling they would get blacklisted for being toxic,
Yeah,
honestly.
that's too much.
So,
I will not comment on that, but I can't wait to. I really want to talk about this.
but every alliance is different. Every
Yeah,
alliance is
yeah.
different too. So,
Everybody's got to take
each
care of
one
their
has
house their own way.
rules.
Yeah, yeah.
Each corp. If it was my member MFing for 3 days to somebody and I heard about it, they probably wouldn't be in a corp, honestly, because I can't do that.
Yeah, no.
So,
Well, you pick your family basically. That's the folks you fly with are the folks you better be having fun with.
Yeah. It's a tough thing. I mean, as a CEO or even an alliance leader, when you have to get involved in those kinds of things, it's a very tough thing to do. I think most people don't realize that either. Because
yeah.
you're balancing so many things. I mean, you want your guys to have fun and you want your guys to be enjoying their time together, but you can't let one guy pull everybody down either, even if that's that one guy that sometimes you do have fun with and do things with, right? So you just it's such a balancing act. I recently in my corp had to tell a member I think it's time that he left. And it killed me to say that to him. Someone had been with us for a while, not since the beginning, but he still had been with us for a very long time, very integral part of our corporation and who we are and what we do every day and who we talk to and screw around with. But unfortunately, I had to ask him to leave, and it killed me to do it. It really did. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
well, most of the time too, they know the hole that they dug. It's like, yeah, I did wrong. I see the consequences, and this is what it is.
That almost makes it worse.
Right?
It's like you've got the bad dog thing going on. Oh, they're ashamed, but also balls. I can't. Sorry, just kidding. Come back. Or
Well, the Reddit post brought entertainment to thousands because I'm a
Yeah.
moderator. Because I'm a moderator on Echoes_Eve, I'm able to see the amount of views
Good.
that link got, and it's in the thousands. So he's provided entertainment for thousands.
Yep.
So that's really all I had to say about that. Yeah,
Let's.
Let
Are
the
we
salt
going
flow.
deeper into the salt mines?
go deeper into the salt mines. I only really had the two, but just in New Eden in general, just in the past, I've just seen so many salty people in local. Just like, wow, you
Yeah.
lose a Venture 2 and in low sec, and you're wanting to find my house. You know, it's like, wow, game.
I usually
that's the
tie the amount of
That's-
salt that you see to the amount of new players or returning players coming back to the game, right?
they forget
Yeah.
they've grown used to the lack of punishment and pain. Deep within the salt mines, past the pretzel pickaxes, there are some truly upset people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a sick sort of pleasure that you get from looking at them, but it's also kind of scary. You know what I mean? Like, what if?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, should we get into some voicemails now? I got my voicemails queued up, and so I got 5 of them to play here. It was a good week of voicemails, I must say.
That's good.
Definitely more.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. I enjoy these, and I'll play the first one here. So here we go.
What the hell? What the hell you got going on over there? You ain't got no idea how the game is ran. Let me tell you what it is. You get in a ship, you go out, you blow it up, you come back, you buy another ship. It's as easy as that. Ain't got nothing else to say. That's my tip of the week.
So we were brought a tip.
Yeah.
You go out in a ship and you get it blowed up, and then you buy another ship. That'll fix your industry, right?
Yeah, there you go.
He's got a point.
That's great.
He's got a point.
This is what insurance is for.
So,
It's a sound strategy.
Mm-hmm.
so that was the first one. Here's another one.
I'm curious if any of the listeners can tell me why in LowSec you have people going through all the systems all the time, more than real players, with a name, 2 numbers in the middle, and then a name after it. They're usually 35 to 65 days old, or a jarbled name, just a mix of letters that's 120 to 160 days old. All of them always flying maulers, never stopping, just roaming through LowSec. It almost seems like it's to make a false impression that there's more players online than there is. I don't know what it really is or why, but maybe someone on this show has an answer. So let me know.
I actually know what he's talking about.
I do too.
So,
And it's only maulers recently because Benzie posted a video about why everybody should be flying a mauler.
is it linked to that?
No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
Honestly, I don't know. You had me, yeah. But there was one day I remember going through LowSec, and I was watching myself jump from gate to gate. In every system, there was a single person with the name that guy described. It's a random game generated name.
Mm-hmm.
If you create a new character, it's going to give it a name, 2 numbers, and then like a last name or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and then I remember specifically saying to myself, dude, I went like 4 or 5 jumps in a row, and every time was a random game generated name, and that person was in a mauler just sitting on the gate.
I don't know what's going on there.
For a while, it was
It's,
Brutix's. I would see it with Brutix's, and sometimes it'd be 2. Like, it's a weird thing when you jump through 2 systems, and both times you see 2 Brutix's sitting on the gate of 2 different systems.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I wonder if
Well,
they're like
Roslyn-
suicide takers or something, or what the hell? Because like that's very random, very weird.
Yeah.
And it was like that 5 jump span in low sec or high sec or whatever, that they're just sitting on the gates. They weren't even ratting. Supposedly it's the best ratting ship. right?
No, come on now. Rosalind says it's a great ratting ship. I don't know. The Illuminati is saying the Stabber Fleet issue is better. And then you've got Anthony 11 Collins, who has a generic Echoes created name from OZ saying
Yeah.
Thorax is best. Get the fuck
He's
out
got
of
a
chat.
Discord generated name.
Thorax best.
Are
LOL.
you one of the maulers? Have the bots infiltrated? Are you truly
Well,
Anthony Collins, or are you actually the Illuminati? The Illuminati has changed
You know,
their name before. It's not for trick. Sorry, go on.
it's very possible that the botting issue is still a really big issue in low sec.
It is.
Very
It is. That's true.
And
Mining
could it
director
be-
Gronick says the best ship is friendship. Very true. As we'll learn today
Could
in
it
today's
be-
show.
Could it be that they're
Oh, yes.
making an impression and make more players online than there really is?
Well, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't put that above or below NetSleaze, but you know, who knows? Who knows? There's no way to really tell. So
That's true. They could be, you know, if they funnel in more targets, awesome. If they're just funneling in window dressing, that's okay, cool. But like, that's not going to pay the bills. It's just going to give the illusion of action.
it doesn't change anything. When I'm AFK flying anyway, I'm barely paying attention if I'm even logged in. So I don't know. So
Well, in my case, I kind of was searching for Who Wants to Be a Billionaire questions. So I was kind of just paying attention anyway.
yeah.
They're
so-
constantly on the prowl.
Whomever that caller was, I know what you're talking about. I questioned it myself. Could it be some bot fuckery? Maybe.
Maybe.
We don't really have a
Yes.
way to prove it, but I have seen it. Maybe others have too.
The robot overlords are out there, bud. I buy it. I'm in. I believe it's either NetSleaze doing something skeezy or the Robopocalypse is upon us.
Yep.
All right, so I got another voicemail, and I have a feeling that you'll probably recognize this one right off the bat, like I did.
Hey, I'm calling into the show here, the Radio Says Leave voicemail here, because I seem to have misplaced my freighter. I was moving towards Kenora with it, and there were some people with me. We were all going together, and then we were being close to the destination, and then everything just went white, and I woke up, I think, in Jeddah, and I can't seem to find my freighter. So if anyone's out there that knows where it is or where it could possibly have maybe left my keys for it, it'd be a help to get that information. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Pro tip for you.
There's a missing
Yeah.
freighter.
Clint's got your keys.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood from No,
Yeah.
Q or whatever. Thank you very much.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Signs
good.
out. Okay, and then here's another one. So here's Threshner here.
Hey Rambo, this is Threshner over at We Build It, You Lose It Shipyard. I have a question about this invoice you sent over, and it's, I quote, looking for a penis-based ship. Looks like it has a rash on it, and just trying to show the whole galaxy my big dick energy, end quote. I think you mean the Balgorn, but I don't want to make assumptions, so you could send me over the actual name the faction itself gave it, and, you know, we'll help you, you know, give the universe that big dick energy. Anyways, again, this is Threshner at We Build It, You Lose It Shipyard. Give me a call back. Thanks so much. Bye.
That's great.
And about 6 minutes later, he gave me another one.
Hey guys, Threshner here again. Calling back on a more serious note. Love the show. I've listened to you guys since whenever this was created. Really great content. I look forward to it every single week when I'm cutting grass and commuting. Again, love the show. Keep it up. Have fun out there, guys. Fly safe. Bye.
Yes. So I know I hinted to you guys that I actually replied to this one, in which I'll play that clip. I did call him back. Listen to this.
Nice.
Big dick energy coming.
Oh yeah. Them
At
big
the
ball
tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up
He gave me
or
the
press
voicemail.
1 for more options.
Straight to voicemail. Hey, this is Rambo over at Echoes of New Eden podcast. This message is for Threshner over at We Build It, You Lose It Shipyard. And the name of that ship I did request, the biggest penis in the galaxy with a rash on it. It is indeed the Balgorn. So if you can ready me up about 5 of those and send them over ASAP, and then contract me the cost. Hopefully they're cheap, but thank you anyway. Call me back at this number. Thank you.
Nice. You ordered a bag of Balgorns.
A bag of Balgorns, yeah. So, somebody make a GIF of Rambo holding a whole bag of Balgorns.
Make it look like a ball bag.
The STD faction, yes.
You can't get rid of us. Oh,
So
God.
yeah, we can have some fun with the voicemails. So oh wait, oh shit, somebody just gave me a voicemail. That was that
Oh,
notification.
hello.
Oh, hey.
Whoa.
This is hot off the press. It's only 6 seconds. Let's play it.
Hi, it's this Echoes from the front. I'm looking to be a billionaire. Please let me know. Thanks. Bye.
Wow,
Nice.
that's funny.
Echoes from the front or from the back. Which one is it?
Oh, man.
I should call him back. Call him back. Live on air.
Yeah, there we-
all these
Live from
all
New
these people
York
are going to be like,
Echoes
wait.
from-
At any minute, I can just picture somebody now. They look at their phone, it starts ringing. They go, "Oh shit, Rambo's calling me." Fuck.
There's 30 people on that phone. Jeez. That's the funny thing too, is because everything goes through my PC. I can literally have 30 people on a phone call through Discord. of
Yeah,
course, but,
yeah.
Thanks for the voicemails. Keep them coming. I like that. So that's cool stuff.
That was rad. That was awesome.
Yeah, please be sure to give us a phone call. I'll tell you what that number is again. That phone number is 928-224-9027. Please give us a call. We'll play those on the air. It's a great time. As you can see, that's cool. Please give us a call. Any kind of, even if you make your own little commercial and it's just audio, that's a great way for you to advertise and just call in and leave a voicemail. So cool
We
stuff.
build it, you lose it, Shipyard.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Should we talk about game news? I know game news, there wasn't that much posted from Eve Echoes.
No, almost nothing.
So, yeah, just
Routine
they did their optimizations on the market, and then they fixed a bug issue where the Omega days for new pilot takeoff supply was incorrectly displayed in the store.
Look at
So
all those
big whoop.
unstacked tourists.
Oh, was there a screenshot posted? I
Yeah.
didn't see. Oh, wow.
Yeah, ding and bell. Nice.
10 packs.
They've reached their final destination, I'm sure.
How much time did you waste getting a stack of 10 and a stack of 10 and a stack of 10? I mean,
Oh, you know how many encounter people are probably mad that they didn't get their tourists back?
yeah.
Where'd the bus go? Exactly. Where'd the bus go?
Yeah, that's funny.
It's all those, oh man, all those families, all those tourists.
Another kid is sitting at home
44,000.
waiting for dad to bring home the milk.
He said he was just going for
All
a
right.
pack of smokes. I don't know what happened.
That's pretty good.
Should we get Cairo in here now? Should we get Cairo in here? Where is he?
Yeah.
Cairo's
come
there,
on.
yep. Get him in here.
Cairo, what's up, buddy?
Hello, Rambo. How do I sound?
Nice.
Sounds good.
Smooth.
You are loud and clear.
Excellent.
So what's up? What's going on? What's the latest in the Cairo conspiracies?
Well, I believe we just pulled off the biggest corp theft in EE history, honestly. 151 billion plus some change. I mean, I haven't heard. I've talked to a couple people, a couple sources, people that know the histories. I've got one person that says it's not the largest, and I'm kind of skeptical. But like, I have not heard of anyone besides Aubriel, I believe, back in the GHA one that was like what 100, 130 billion, and ours is 151. It would have actually, if mineral prices weren't as low as they are now, we actually would have had almost 200 billion in stolen assets if we had done this all like 2 months ago.
Well, damn, you just got time to market. What are you doing?
I know, right?
Well,
Let him cook.
First, from what I know, that is the largest theft.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to compare it for the time, is 151 bill a lot? Sure as hell it is. Is it a lot for this time in the game? Yeah, I suppose there's bigger alliances that have more, whatever. But Aubriel's theft at the time was only, what, 5 months into the game? 4 months into the game? And it definitely wasn't that. I mean, if you were to talk about inflation or deflation, 60 billion in assets and 20 billion in liquid ISK at the time was a lot. And that was the largest heist. Then you could talk about the StarCats one too, which was a little bit more. Yet again, it was more for its time, but if you were to compare deflation and all that crap, it was actually less. But in this case, I mean, this number blows out basically the other two. out of the water anyway. So
Yeah.
from what I know, this would be considerably the largest one.
Well, I am quite satisfied with that. We were really aiming for something higher, but our how do I put this? Our funding source, or I guess how should I put him? He's here in the chat. I'll just name him. What's up, Lionson? How's it going, buddy? It's been a minute since we talked. Anyways, though, yeah,
Does he need
he
unmuted?
was getting maybe not unmute him just yet. We can talk later. But anyways, he was getting a little less generous near the end. My guys that were involved with it were kind of getting bored. I was really trying to get everyone to stick out for 200 bill. One of them, my guys who was doing the sheets for us, keeping track of everything, said that he had seen the value of what we stole go down from we had it all added up, it was like 170, and then we waited another week. It went down to 160, and this is all because of mineral prices. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the value in these ships we stole, which by the way, we stole 6 capital ships, and a half capital ship because one of the guys actually paid half and didn't pay the rest of the half back to get like an extra one, sort of a cherry on top. We got obviously the whole corp wallet, all the corp assets, and throughout the whole time we were siphoning off assets and ISK, so that sort of built up over time. And in the end, you know, we got 151 billion ISK out of it. It was a pretty good steal, honestly. It took 2 months to pull off, and a lot more effort than I was hoping to spend. Something about me is I try to do as much as I can and expend the smallest amount of effort possible. But that was kind of difficult, Lion. You were really trying to get us to work there. I mean, good on you for being a taskmaster, but dang, man.
I'm actually in Lion's Den. Do you want to talk about it? I can unmute you. I do want to hear your side of this.
Bring him up here, man.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
If he wants to, I can unmute him. I'm waiting for him to say something on your chat. But what in the meantime, Cairo, like,
I can go through the story if you want.
sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, he's typing. Okay. Go for it.
Lion, typing.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Oh, it's the Cairo show. Oh, buddy.
Is he on air chat?
Yeah, he declined to talk about it, so he said it's all you.
Yep, it's all you, bud.
All right, I'll go from the story then. So it all kind of started off. Lionson and his corp, Rebel Alliance, or Alliance rather, we were kind of just hearing about him. We were noticing some.
What happened there?
He just totally cut out.
Yeah.
Somebody silenced him.
Lionson came and cut your internet.
I know, I totally ripped it out myself. So it started off all about 2 months ago. Check.
Yep, I can hear you.
I'm sorry. Mic issues, man.
Was your mic stolen too?
Yeah, apparently I stole my own mic. Or Lion did as revenge. Oh well. But we were just noticing some stuff about Lionson and his alliance. He had this website that was kind of odd. There were these videos and whatnot he was having produced. And the weirdest thing about all of it was that there was like nobody in this alliance. It was mostly him, a few random dudes that none of us had ever heard about. So I decided to leave him a little message on like a Reddit post he had made, and I offered him to be his lead FC for his whole alliance, and I would teach his guys the art of whelping his ships. And all I wanted for it was 1 Naglfar fully fitted and ISK insured. It's all I asked for. Very cheap, very cheap. Well, I kind of made this comment in jest, and he took it pretty seriously, because like by the next day, I was leaving Honk and going for RA with the promise of a Naglfar in my future, and who knows what as far as like actually being the FC of this alliance was. In my own head, originally I was like, I'm just gonna grab this Naglfar and I'm gonna run. But that's when I saw the opportunity. Kind of early on, I noticed that Lion was spending a lot of ISK on a lot of random bullshit. We might go into where some of that ISK came from little bit shady. But I was just noticing that he had a lot of wealth for someone that really had not been playing the game for very long. No one knew who he was, really. He'd been in C22, I believe, for a little bit, but like that's the only people from there had any idea who he was that I had talked to. And as we were discussing, like what I was gonna do for him, he mentioned that he was going to put up an order for a bunch of capital ships. And I was like, okay, how many capital ships? And he asked me, well, how many do you think I need to defend my space? And I was just gonna give him an arbitrary number. I was just gonna give him like, you need 12, man. You need 12 capital ships. We can get a fleet of 12 guys going. You'll never have to worry about your space ever. And I was just trying to get him to build me my Naglfar at the time. Well, he actually did place the order for all of the capital ships. And then he tells me that now I have a problem. I don't have any pilots for all these capital ships. And I thought to myself, and I told Lion, you know what, man? I've got just the solution for you. I'll take those capital ships off your hands. I got the pilots for it. Let me just get them in here, and then they'll be great pilots for you. They'll be great capital pilots. And so this is kind of when the start of Griff Squad began. Griff Squad was me sort of being the ringleader, and a few other friends of mine. Really, all we needed to do was get T10 characters into Rebel, and convince Lion like, hey, these pilots, they're reliable. They got their T10. They are capital pilots already. Like, you should give them a ship. They'll fly for you. They'll defend your space. This is why we built these, right? Like, I just spent the entire time, all of my time there, really just working on trying to convince Lion, like, hey, this is what we need to do. Give these guys their ships. Give these guys these capital ships. And then dissuading him from giving them to like the other actual members of RA that were joining or had been there and were asking for them. Because my whole goal was just, to get the ships and get out of there. Well, we were starting to rack them up pretty quick, and I was starting to notice something that the value of what we were stealing was quite possibly or could potentially be like the largest corp theft in the game. And so near the end, was we were tallying everything together, like my guys are getting really excited because we were like, we're making history, man. No one's stolen this many ships before. And lo and behold, after I talked to a few people, again, there's one guy who says he knows of a bigger one, but I can't get him to source it for me. But lo and behold, we ended up coming out of all of it with the biggest corp theft in the game so far at 151 billion. Not exactly accounting for mineral inflation. I need to talk to an economist about that. You know any good economists, Rambo, that could figure this out for me? What the actual value per mineral inflation would be for this steel?
I do know of somebody. He'd have to run the numbers.
Chief? No. You got someone.
I got a court member who's really smart with that stuff.
People.
I know peeps. Yep.
Oh man, I'm curious. I want to see. I want to see some like conversions to real world currency too, because this is incredible.
Oh, we did that.
So
we did that. If you take Plex, what is it? It's like you can buy the $100 Plex steel. Man, I wish it was like 2,750 Plex. I might be wrong on that, but one of my guys did do a little quick conversion based on the value of Plex at the time. This is like 2 weeks ago, so it's changed, but he did a quick conversion. He said that our steel was just around $3,500 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of hamburgers. That's
thousands. That's definitely not compared to like the ones in EVE Online.
No,
that's nothing, man.
No,
that's
nothing.
That's like
having
something
a mortgage stolen, basically. Like
you wouldn't even hear about that.
Yeah,
oh my god,
that's Maddie's allowance per month.
But
So,
thousands with a B.
Yeah. How many is that in Maddie's? Could I get that? Could you convert it to Maddie's for me?
Maddie is invaluable, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Maddie.
Can't attach a value to him.
So I guess the only question I have around this whole situation is why?
Just for fun, man. Honestly, literally, I was just bored one day and I checked Reddit and I just happened to see Lion's post there, and then one thing led to another. Suddenly, the head FC of Rebel Alliance, without ever leading a fleet, You know, it just happens, man.
He'd never let
I
a flea.
take it.
Oh,
I take it since he's here. I guess he's somewhat okay with the whole situation. What's his stance on it, Cairo?
No, he doesn't like.
He doesn't like you. I don't
Back it
see
up.
why he wouldn't.
Oh man.
I don't think he likes me very much anymore, but that's okay. We had fun, Lion. I'm sure you had some fun along the way, and now you even get some free publicity, which is what you wanted originally, right?
You can rebuild it. That's like you get enough folks, you can get there, but it's gonna take a hot minute. I'm so
This-
sorry for your loss.
This reminds me of the opening scene of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when Ace Ventura delivers that package, and it has a business card on it. It says, "You've been had by Ace Ventura." Well, in this case, you've been had by Cairo. And the thing about it is, I think he realizes that he has been had. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And so
He was a mostly good sport, like right when it was all going down. You know, he was a mostly good sport. Like I'm not gonna trash on Lion too much, man. You were a good sport. You're a nice guy. Some of your practices I don't agree with, but for the most part, you're a good person.
Yeah. Trust comes at a cost.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It
the
was
thing
really
that
just boredom.
that's the thing that I kind of take away from this whole thing. You know, and I said this before we even started the show, and when Rambo and Crimson and I were talking, you know, it is what it is. On one hand, it's kind of icky, but then on the other hand, like if you don't have any kind of an understanding of this game or what organizations or who and who does what and how things work, then you kind of ran into that wall yourself a little bit. You know, I hate to say that. That feels kind of shitty coming from my mouth, but at the same time, it's true. Like you
Yeah,
just
it's a learning experience.
yeah. So I guess Eva's loss. That's a big learning experience. But damn.
Mm-hmm. Deep from the depths of the salt mines. That is, oof, big
Yeah.
oof.
yeah.
That's tough.
So I mean,
So
that's something that I wouldn't do. I couldn't stomach that. I don't know. I just can't. That's not. I wouldn't do something like that out of boredom anyway.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh,
part of the
there
game,
was
you know. Like,
there was some other much more justifiable reasons, honestly. Although I don't know if I should really talk about them too much. I have made some promises to keep my mouth shut on a few things. But just don't feel, I would say, man, don't feel bad for what happened to Lion. For one, yeah, you're right, it's a learning experience. But also,
Yeah.
I almost look at it as a deserved punishment for, again, something I really can't talk too much about. But
Fair
still,
enough.
Lion knows exactly what I'm talking about.
so
I've seen
we have
your
you
core
covered as
quality.
feeling justified.
And Damon Zell wanted to ask a question, so Damon Zell's got the floor.
Shoot.
It's controversial because it delves into the past. With the actions that have happened here and actions that have been taken in the past via Honk Alts Honk members and Griff Squad members, could this also actually balance out, say, the history between what is the whole legend thing, which now everyone is taking as a banner of trying to destroy them? Like, how does this measure up to that? I know it's controversial. That's why I figured since this was all fresh, get that out there.
So I'm
And
just gonna.
and just so happens that both involve Cairo. Go ahead, Cairo.
It does both involve me.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how that happens.
And that's why I figured I'd ask.
So Damon Zell, personally, like, I don't hold any actual grudges towards like J Factor or Legend, really. I do like the fact that it gives me, like I'm always looking for a reason to do something in this game. Like if bad blood, bad history is what gives me a reason to shoot someone, I'm gonna use that as my reason to shoot you. Lionson. Now I don't think it's gonna really balance out the way you say, because with RA it was a terms of service thing. That's why I did what I did, because there was some violations maybe going on there, and that's why I felt justified to do what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, originally I was going in there to steal it anyways. Even if there wasn't anything sketchy happening, I was still going to try to steal my Naglfar. It wasn't until I found a little bit more information out myself and saw the underbelly that I was like, okay, I'm gonna take everything that I can get from this guy and waste and burn the rest of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Would like to know what those details are, I guess, but at the same time, I mean, everybody's got their ways of justifying things, and that's fine. It's all good. I mean, it's a game. We're here to play a game. However that game takes you.
Yeah.
That's the thing about this game that's very interesting that people seem to forget. It's an open sandbox, and anything is possible. Anything. Case in point.
like
Yeah,
the
awkward
only-
silence.
the
Yeah,
only-
I know,
the-
Rosalind. I was kind of like, we better fill this. Everybody's being like, wow, holy shit.
Yeah. It's the only thing I can get out of it, and if it's any tip, is just to let it go, I suppose. Just like, yep, you've been had, and all you can do now is just continue on or rebuild or, do whatever else. Just leave it behind.
The
And
rebuilding is
in the past thefts, that's what people have done. They've rebuilt. The alliance isn't dead. It's most likely not even broke. Yeah. It's just,
No, it's
just here in the
definitely
news.
not broke. It's definitely not broke right now.
Yeah.
Looks like, Cairo, you got some questions out of the on-air chat if you want to take a look at that.
Yeah.
Sure, let me take a look.
He did hand them over.
An exploit? No. It wasn't an exploit. Listen, maybe I should. I'm gonna do a little PSA here, everybody. So we've all heard of RMT, trading accounts, whatnot, real money exchanges. Don't do it. Just don't do it, because it is against the terms of service. It will get you banned. And I personally, I'm not a vindictive person. I'm not going to take things too far. But RMT does genuinely hurt the game in a lot of different ways. It hurts the economy. That's really the main way. It just hurts the economy. And this game is already fucked on the economy as it is. So you really want to try to jack it up even more? I don't know. I don't think we do.
So explain to me how real money trading would work in a way that would hurt the game. Let's say I have a character that I've dumped a ton of money in for a year and a half. He's T10. I want to quit the game. I can go onto an exchange and sell my character off, get out of the game, move on with life, maybe get back a little bit of the money that I invested in. How does that hurt the game? Because that happens on EVE Online.
Oh no, RMT is actually a fairly common practice, even on EVE Online. And with accounts, I actually think that there is some justification for it. It is still against the terms of service, but
right for EVE Echoes, correct? Yes.
I think there is still some use for it. If you're talking about an account that's been skilled up, now I do think that as a new player, it's a really bad route to go. You should just make your own account, learn the game, step one. Otherwise, you're going to be jumping into the deep end way too fast. But the issue that actually I feel like affects the economy more is RMT with ISK. When you buy ISK with real money, you're bypassing the Plex system. You're affecting the Plex market, and B, you're just doing a big ISK injection. All that's going to do is just drive down prices, which is going to make the indie even suckier to do, and we're going to lose even more indie. I mean, it's just a matter of deflation, really. You're devaluing assets because there's too much ISK in the water.
Yeah, I get that part. I didn't realize that selling your account was banned on EVE Online now. I thought that was last time I checked that was a thing, but maybe it's different now.
I'm pretty sure account RMT has always been against the terms of service. I'll have to look that one up for EVE Online specifically.
Yeah.
It's been since 2017 since I've played EVE Online, man.
Yeah, it was back in 2012 when I stopped playing EVE Online, so it was a long time ago. But I remember there being an actual in-game or on the loading screen just on the browser before you, or not the browser, but the loading agent, whatever they call it way back then, to actually load up the game, even had a thing for it in one of the areas about selling or buying an account.
So long as the accounts are coming from players and bots kind of count, but if they're just bots farming in HiSec, that's not adding content. That's whoever farms that ISK to make those sales. I don't see them as a major problem for play, but they are such a big problem for markets. Like it's non-functioning participants within the market, like you said, just deflating the value of ISK and completely circumventing Plex as sort of the release valve for that.
I'm very upset kind of with the state of the market, honestly. I mean, have you looked at the T3 rig prices? I bought freaking Ox 3 for like 50, even less than that, million recently. And what, like maybe 2 months ago, they were breaking 150, almost 200 mil.
Oh, they're over 100 million today. They're over 100 million.
Oh,
right
they're
now.
under 100 million today. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a buyer's market right now. Like if you want the goods, go and get them, because they ain't gonna stay that cheap forever. Hopefully, like I don't know. I view it as something of an opportunity. Like maybe it's a bellwether of the markets falling down to a new stable low. But I'm pretty.
I don't think there's any such thing as a new stable low. I mean, Trit's, the only reason Trit's not less than 1 is because there's no decimal points. Pyrite's very close behind. So, I mean, for those kinds of things, it's pretty bad. And the only reason the Ox rigs have jumped up is because someone somehow has changed their doctrine up or something, or added a different ship, and people are buying the 20 or 30 that happen to be on the market, and then all of a sudden it jumps up, and that's it. And it'll go back down within a couple of days or a week. So
the way I see it, this is an opportunity to stockpile, because the meta's going to come around. The meta's going to shift.
How much can everybody stockpile though, Crimson? I mean, my God, I have so much shit that has an estimated value in the billions that's worth nothing. I mean, at some point you just kind of just glance at all of it and just whatever. It's ridiculous. So there has to be loss.
The hangers are lies.
Right.
The hangers are lies. Yeah, there has to be real, genuine loss. That's the only way it's going to ever get fixed on the market, whether it's the market itself or industry itself. There has to be genuine
I
loss.
agree with you wholeheartedly. Like the market needs fixing. I agree. I don't know. I am hopeful that the market will be fixed. Maybe not by NetEase, but by player action.
How did this become a market convo when we're just talking about RMT?
I don't know. Well, Cairo, we mentioned. I don't know. Cairo, are you still there?
No, I'm still here.
Cairo, you around?
I just feel like ISK injections into the game, like via RMT, is kind of damaging personally. Now, I mean, this is all ISK that was probably collected legitimately or somehow. I mean, how else are you going to generate ISK in the game? But I mean,
buying ore.
You can buy ore, yeah, you can do that. I don't know. I know people that I dislike cheating the game's systems like that. I really do.
Yeah.
So if I had a member that had $1,000 to spend, and he spent it all on Plex, bought it legitimately through the game, purchased all the Plex, sold the Plex on the market for whatever the value is he a bad guy?
No, the Plex is fine. You're going through the game systems to do it. That's fine. And you're also contributing to the market, because you have to put that Plex up on the marketplace in order to sell it. Or, well, yeah, that's really it. Or you can buy it. Like, as long as you're interacting with the market, you're adding to the health of it. Now, if you're circumventing it, then all you're doing is deflating values.
So if NetEase doesn't get a cut, like if all that ISK was generated by alpha players, then I'm salty about it. But if some of those operations are going into the funding of Echoes, even just a portion of them, I'm still in favor of them to some extent. Like they're damaging and they're harmful, but it's really down to the circumstances for me. Like if who was it in chat that said Damon Zell, where's my cut for NetEase? Like, if they're getting a bit of the action, I don't know, not forgivable per se, but understandable.
Like, are you saying NetEase is profiting off of the bots in low sec?
No, certainly not. Like, if they're alpha accounts, then no.
Or high sec, I guess, rather.
Yeah, high sec would be where they're at, but that's just window dressing. Those are background characters, NPCs, basically, in my mind.
Do you think NetEase would waive a bot if it had Omega, but if they'd know that it's a bot?
Oh no, I doubt that. they are bot hunters through and through. I had a buddy get called out on as a bot master, even though he's not. Like they're on the prowl, and you see them post those statistics too. And maybe that's some propaganda, or maybe that's them just trying to cover their bases. But they hate bots, and I do too. I think bots are terribly boring. It's not like they take up any of the gameplay slots for other players. They just kind of exist in the universe. But that's ISK that could have been generated by someone I can go and shoot.
There is like a double, triple whammy going on. I'm gonna add on to what you were saying, and I'm also gonna build on to what Taylor was just saying. So like we got I believe 3 things. Might add a 4th one if I think of it. We got like 3 things that are really affecting the market right now and driving prices so dang low. One, the bots for sure. I mean, it's just massive ISK injection through the mission payouts. I mean, that's what they do. They just grind the missions all day, and all that ISK goes to who knows where. Probably some alliance or someone we don't know about.
Do you really think
Anyway,
there's that many bots still?
There are. We see the numbers get posted on how many bans there are.
300
all
a
the
week.
time. More than that. I mean, even that. If you have just one bot doing Clarelime for like 24/7, I mean, you're gonna rack up the tens of billions within like a week or 2. If it's doing it 24/7, I mean, who knows how you can get away with it, how long you can run for. I don't know. I don't do it. But it's not just that. I mean, it's a huge passive income. People do Clarelime for their normal ISK, but they live in nullsec. Like their actual stuff is in nullsec. I know lots of people that do that. Then you also got insurance, which Taylor, I agree and disagree with you on insurance. I love insurance the way it is now, only because I can get all my shit back for free doing PvP. I feel like it does in some ways help the community as far as generating lots of PvP, although at the same time, you're absolutely right. There needs to be real loss. Indie players got so screwed. So badly screwed when they introduced the insurance system, and they really do need to have a better way of doing it. I think they should do it more like Eve, where you get an ISK payout. Honestly, I feel like that should be the real way that they do it, not just like you get the haul and all the modules back. It should just be an ISK payout.
I don't understand how that's not feasible. I keep getting told that's not feasible, and I'm just sitting there scratching my head as to how the hell that's not feasible. And to be clear, I'm okay with the idea of insurance, and I'm okay with people getting something back. What I'm not okay with there being the loss side of it. That's the problem. Because now you're just, every time someone loses something and claims it on insurance, not only did they get that back, it's like a double whammy. There's no loss of that. There's no loss of those minerals, but yet somehow it's generated somewhere else or not generated somewhere else, and it's just doubling up those items in the game essentially. And then that just it causes deflation. The way it's set up right now, pure and simple, causes deflation. More so than the bots do, by far. I don't care if there's 1,000 bots banned every week. They're not causing deflation at the rate of destroyed ships getting poofed back into reality out of nothing and not taking any resources out of the game when they do it. That's where your giant issue is with the loss of it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to, and it's hard to understand why it can't. Easy changes. There's just easy little changes. They don't even have to change hardly any of their coding in order to really fix it, or at least get it halfway back to where it should be, right? Like there's an insurance center that every single Citadel, everybody who has SOV can put up, and you do get contracts back. And my corporation does make money off of those, and it does poof resources out of the game. I got my guys complaining to me, why are we filling a contract order for $30 million in an Omen Navy issue and it costs us $32 million to make it? Well, because it takes the freaking resources out. That's why, right? And then now you guys got to give me some more minerals. I just took a $2 million loss. I get it back from all your ratting. Just shut up and let's do it. And it keeps things churning because now there's a loss, and we've just taken some resources out of the game. But there's got to be some way to balance this. Something.
Yeah, there are little tweaks they can do to fix that, and we're into speculation territory. But
yeah,
make it 50-50 or something. That's the fast and dirty way to do it.
Same thing with the fittings.
50,
I mean,
50?
I don't know about the 50-50,
but creates a new chip.
Oh, okay.
How about this? Leave everything exactly the way it is. Only your insurance only lasts 30 days, or 21 days, 3 weeks. So then you have to pay for the insurance again.
Oh, like your insurance expires?
Like your
Yes.
points expire.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
pay like a
that'll make
monthly
me
allowance.
so mad.
And you
Ugh.
pay that specific to the ship. You got the ship and you've paid it on that ship and it lasts for so long and then you got to pay it again.
That's how
Like
Eve
real
Online does.
insurance.
Yeah, like a real insurance.
Yep.
Who's got Geico? Raise your hand.
There has to be something changed with it. I don't know what that ultimate answer is. These are just ideas that I spitball, but something's got to change with it. Otherwise, we will just do nothing but constantly deflate things. And the only time we get a spike is, like I said, when someone changes something in doctrine, then you get a little spike in certain rigs or fittings, or when a new thing comes out and you watch it deflate instantly over the over the course of a month. So I mean, when the Rorqual debris started dropping, it was worth hundreds of millions, and now it's worth 10, 12 million apiece. I mean, so just because it's.
Here's a question I just thought of, and it is crazy. With the new WIST systems, with the new player market system.
So I guess, Cairo, that basically wraps it up then. You claim to have the largest heist in the game thus far, and it's only a matter of time before it's beat.
I challenge someone, please beat it. 151 billion is like chump change, guys. $3,500. Come on, when are we gonna get someone that can get like 400, 500 billion and top ass out at like a 10,000? Come on, get some real.
Here's a
scams
conspiracy. Here's a
Watch your back, y'all.
conspiracy. What if this would have happened to SHH? Like literally the most rich alliance in the fucking game.
Oh, you'd be hunted.
There's
I
a
like
T.
SHH. I wouldn't do it.
There's a T in that number, not a B. There's a T.
There's a T in that number.
There's a T in that number.
We need a trillion.
So, anywho, well, thank you, Cairo, for your time, and we'll
Thanks,
go
man.
back to fly safe out there.
Good luck, buddy.
Fly safe, Rambo. Honk honk.
Yeah.
See ya.
Give me a little.
Oh, I cut him out a little bit too early. Sorry about that.
He
Yeah, give him a honk. So we were supposed to have Linwood on as a guest, but
Mhm.
he is ghosting me right now. I don't know what the heck.
Rip.
Yeah, he'd confirmed that he was going to be on the show, and then he's not replying to any of my messages. So we will have to skip his segment, and he was just going to tell us his life story, basically. He too, in case nobody knew, he too was a thief. He robbed a Starcats. I wonder if he was going to talk about that. But anyway, that would have been for a wacky episode, right? Yes, Rocket. Yes. But anyway,
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's all we got for news going around New Eden currently. And next, we will get into Who Wants to Be a Billionaire. So, those of you that are watching on YouTube, you can click off the page now because that's what you all do. And I know this.
We see you.
And I know this.
We don't.
And I know this because we see the views. It is known that when we get to the game segment, people tab off. Yep. But that's okay. For those that are in the audience, you have a chance to become a billionaire. I still have tons of ISK to give away, and we will be holding these games until I run out of ISK, literally. So it's going to be every week until I hand out all the ISK from our sponsor. And so during the commercial break, if you want to be a contestant, X up during the commercial break. Here we go.
X up.
Let's see.
Fountain, I love you, but you're bringing me down. Fountain, I love you. Fountain, you're bringing me down. Fountain.
I've got him tackled.
Fountain, I love you. but you're bringing me down.
You're listening to Echoes of New Eden.
Now throw your axe up.
All right. Everybody threw those X's up?
I like how Damon was posting screenshots of him saying X.
Uh-huh. Like an old man or something. I don't know. He doesn't know how this works. If I just make a clip here. Sorry. I couldn't help myself. Looks like it's going to be Rocket. That's who I stopped at when the music stopped.
All right, give him the unmute.
Yep, giving you the unmute, Rocket. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. You are unmuted. And we've got the show up over on the stream as well.
Welcome.
Hope everybody can see it in the live chat.
Hey, how you doing, Rambo?
What's up, Rocket? How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Glad to be on Who Wants to Be a Billionaire, and I hope I walk away a billionaire, but who knows, right?
Yeah, we're gonna test your knowledge. We are always up for giving away ISK on this game. I want to give away the ISK, so I hope you do get quite far. So I will start the game here. I do have it on. I am sharing my screen, so if you can check out the screen, I will start the game here.
Yep.
Oh. And you get the catchy music. Oh yeah, this is legit.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, it is. It's hella legit.
We got the music, we got the graphics. Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Billionaire Eve Echoes Edition. Today we have Rocket joining us as our first contestant, and we'll see if we can give away some ISK. All right. Then this show is sponsored by Legio Fulminata. Strike hard, strike fast. Legio Fulminata. They are the sponsor, and they willingly provided the ISK. I did not steal it from them.
I hope not.
I just need to make that. I need to put that down. I need to say that. So yes, Legion is the sponsor. So moving on, here is your winning ladder. Starting at 10 million and going up the ladder, you're going to answer 14 questions, or up to 14 questions, with number 14 being 2 billion. Now your checkpoints are at question number 5 for 100 million. If you answered that one correctly, you do not walk away with anything less than 100 million. And then same for number 10 at 500 mil. You get that answer correct, you walk away with at least that. And remember, you can walk away at any time and get the desired amount from your previous question. If you get one wrong, of course, then you go down to the checkpoint. So here are your lifelines. You get a 50-50 lifeline. 2 of the wrong answers will be removed. And I did send Taylor and Crimson the answers, so they do know the answers.
Yep, I do.
Joke's on you. I don't know how to read.
Right? And then you get a phone a friend. Choose a person in the studio audience to ask the question to. And Taylor, Rick, or Crimson will unmute them, and they will have a chance to speak and talk out the question. And then the final lifeline is to ask the audience. So what they'll do, instead of creating a poll, we will just ask the audience to type what answer they think is correct in the on-air chat. And it's up to your discretion to choose the best answer out of that, or the most popular one. If it's any recommendation, I would say use your lifelines when in doubt. All right?
Gotcha.
You ready?
Are you ready?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Are you ready, though?
Let's get ready to rumble. And please, for sake of me, so I know when to advance the slide, tell me that it's the final answer. Just say answer is A, final answer, and then I'll go with the flow. Okay.
Copy that. Thank you.
All right.
You got this.
You got this. All right. Good luck. Oh, interesting question. If you get shot by a blue, what do you do? Question their motives and ability to play the game. Set them red and retaliate. Talk badly about them in local chat. Take the loss to the leadership and have them deal with it.
Oh, jeez. It's not like I did help with Blue on Blues with silent leadership. So
yeah.
You
used to be HR. Yeah, you had to do with this stuff.
Yeah, so it's D.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, final answer. D is final answer.
That is right. All the other things are what not to do for those salt people out there, those salty people.
You can make those plays, just they ain't gonna work out for you in the long run.
All right. You got the first question right for 10 million. Going on to the second question, 25 million. Official content creators have access to this private server. What is the name? Aurora, Fulmination, Legacy, Test Server.
Okay, so I know the answer. B, final answer.
Yeah, you're quick on that one.
Oh man, yeah. I have known content creators in the past, and they have mentioned things like the Fulmination server. That's how I knew it quickly.
Yeah, there you go. You actually listen to what they say. Yeah, a lot of people mistake that for the test server, aka Taylor Rick.
Funny. That's funny.
It's not the test server, it's Fulmination.
Very true.
Okay, question number 3 for 50 million. What's the weekly limit for Concord Pass points? Is it 1,200, 1,500, 1,750, unlimited?
Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna go with C, final answer.
Dang, you know your stuff so far. You're flying through these. I thought he was going to talk it out, and you just bluffed us.
They did just recently change that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't it used to be 1,200 though? I'm pretty sure it was.
1,250, I believe.
Okay.
No, I think it was 10,000. Could be wrong about that. I'm sorry,
No way.
Not 10,000. No.
It was not 10,000.
Sorry, I meant 1,000.
It was probably like 32 or something.
So Rocket wasn't an accountant for Silent, right? I'm going to clarify that real quick.
Nope. No,
Let's
I
not
was
talk
not.
numbers.
Nope, I was an admin for them.
All right. Moving on. Question number 4 for 75 million. He's flying through these. He has all of his lifelines. And this game seems easy to him so far. Let's continue on. In what system is the Museum Arcana located? Jita, Zimzi, Pain, Tama.
Okay, okay, so can you do 50-50 for this?
All right.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, let's do 50-50 for... Wait. Okay, sorry. Change my mind. I'm going to go with B, Zimzi.
Final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
I'm going to use a lifeline. You know what? Maybe not. B. There we go.
Yeah, it sure sounded like someone DM'd him.
Nope.
Where's the DM? Let me see who's in the chat right now listening. Who's your scout? Who's your scout? Are you DMs with Maddie? No, he's not in.
No, I am in DMs with Pocket Rocket and Nobody Hit You. which are my alts. So
I do like to talk to myself.
I mean, if you thought about it for a few seconds, you can kind of deduce which one it is out of that, because I wouldn't have a clue, but I just kind of looked at it for a second and then thought, well, it has to be that one because none of the others make any sense. So,
well, two of them for sure you'd know.
Right, right.
Okay, there's no way that's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pain. There's a system actually called Pain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think it's near Zimzi. That's how I got it. So.
Nice.
Anyway, I went there today for the first time in like a year and a half. Okay.
You
cool.
finally found Pain.
Oh, okay.
All right. Question number 5 for 100 million. This is your checkpoint question. Which weapon type is best against shields? Missiles, railguns, lasers, cannons.
Yeah, it's C, lasers.
Final answer.
Yep, final answer. Sorry, I keep forgetting.
He's like butter. He's on a roll.
All right. So you made it past 100 mil. You do not leave out of here without at least 100 mil ISK. Going on question number 6 for 200 mil. Man, I really hope you take this home. And we'll call it a short show.
Yeah, hope so.
What is the name of the galactic news network in Eve Echoes? Concord, Business Magnet, The Scope, New Eden News.
You know what? I am going to I'm going to go with C, The Scope. Final answer.
Damn. Who sent you the answers?
No
Was it
one
Taylor or
did.
Crimson?
No,
Who's the spy?
I just remember in Jeddah, there being this sign that says The Scope. That's how I remember it.
Yeah. And here I thought this was going to be a tricky question because who really pays attention to the inside of your citadel or just inside of a station? It's got the scope on there, and if you actually look closely, it says Galactic News Network under it.
Mm-hmm.
You see the giant letters of the scope, and then you see Galactic News Network. So I thought it was going to be a tricky question. Maybe not everybody pays attention to the little details like that. But
I was always a big fan of that kind of stuff in EVE Online back when I played because every station was a little different. They all looked a little different. They all had a little bit different stuff and layout on the inside. And I was always looking, and that was one of the things I would do sometimes is just go around and looking for something different, something unique, something different playing on those floating screens in space. I wish they would do that. That'd be cool, just to have different things playing on them randomly that have to do either with events or something else. They're missing an opportunity there. I think that's kind of cool. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely love just spinning ships and looking at the little moving lights and imagining them being, vehicles or people going about their daily lives in the black. And it's a nice touch. It's something I love about EVE and Elite Dangerous and basically space sim games, period.
Yep, definitely.
all right, moving on. Question number 7 for 250 mil. Jesus. Another easy one for him. I'm not even going to pull the answers up. What is it?
It's 30.
Final answer?
Yeah, final answer. We all know this.
No,
For the listeners, how many corporations can a single alliance hold? 10, 20, 30, or 40? And correct, the answer is C, 30.
Yeah.
I knew he would know that because of his position. Yeah, he used to deal with all that crap. But who knew that we were gonna have Rocket on as a guest too? Not everybody knows this.
Yeah.
Kind of like how we had Durka on and we asked him an ITC question for a 2 billionist question. Right?
Yeah, and he knew it. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And he knew it. So
that's how it goes.
It happens.
So the roll of the dice goes.
We've been
there's gonna be some. There's gonna be some he doesn't know in here. He's gonna use a lifeline eventually. All right, question number 8 for 300 mil. Remember, you could walk away at any time.
Yeah.
Still has all your lifelines. All right.
Yeah.
Which fitting would you use to instantly reduce an opponent's speed? Tracking disruptor, warp scrabbler,
Get
neutralizer,
10 minutes. Sorry.
guidance disruptor.
Wife aggro in the middle of Who Wants to Be a Billionaire.
Right?
What? Okay. Let me think here for a second. Okay, so which fitting would you use to instantly reduce an opponent's speed? I mean, man, give me 1 second just to think. Reduce an opponent's speed. Okay, I'm gonna go with. Let me think here. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Give me a quick second. Okay. Okay. Can you give me 50-50, please, on this?
All right, 50-50. Your options are Bravo or Charlie, Warp Scrambler or Neutralizer.
Okay, I am going to go with instantly reduce. I would go with the Warp Scrambler. Final answer.
Indeed it is. Warp Scrambler. pesky Warp Scrambler disables MWDs.
Oh, we had to
Disables
scramble
it.
there for a sec.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember.
So that's where you get these dual prop people. You know, if people have a scram on a frigate or something, they'll just activate their afterburner and they're still fast.
Yep.
Anywho. All right, continuing on. Next question number 9 for 400 mil. I hope these get harder. I don't know. Now that I've read them so many times and know the answers, it feels like they're easy to me. But when I'm putting them, in the, you know, when I'm actually like putting them in, I put like a difficulty rating to them. It's like, okay, well, maybe not as many people know this as compared to this one, right? So
we need a
question
test
9 for
audience.
400 mil.
We gotta have like
right?
randos come in and rate them or something along those lines.
All right. Which of the following is a special item on the in-game market? Primary color paint supply, ancient remains, skin color recorder, damaged wreck.
Okay, so where are my lifelines?
You have phone a friend or poll the audience remaining.
You know what? I am just gonna walk away with 400 mil. Why not?
All right.
You have 2 lifelines.
Yeah, no,
Not even gonna swing.
I ain't gonna risk it.
No risk it for the brisket?
Yep, exactly. I'm not
You
gonna
could
risk
literally use both of your lifelines and continue on.
No, I am. Wait. Do I have
The
one?
answers are coming in.
Yeah, that says a lot about what you think of the audience and the folks that you might be able to call there.
No, I would much rather, not take a risk, and instead walk away with like 400 mil instead of 100 mil, so.
Well, if you walk away, you walk away with 300 mil.
No, wait. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll go with 300 mil. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, but
Maybe
All right.
his wife
Well,
wants
I'm
to get
not
him
going-
off the
I'm
phone.
not going to reveal the answer.
Oh yeah, let's get our next contestant up. Do you think?
Okay,
know
Rocket, DM me, unless you already know my game name. DM or send a contract requesting. What the hell? I didn't do that. It auto-played.
Yeah, I would have gone with A. So I am very glad I chose to go with the keep. So, okay, yeah, I will be.
Well, For the listeners, it was skin color recorder. That was the right answer.
Thanks, Rocket. Thanks for coming on.
Send me a message, and I'll send you my in-game contact for the 300 mil.
Don't click any
All right,
buttons now,
then,
Rambo. Leave it right there on that screen.
I'm not. Nope. My hand's not even touching the mouse, not even the keyboard. I'm leaving it right here.
Don't move. Don't even blink.
So throw up some X's real
Damon
quick.
Zell, you think Damon Zell can finish this out?
You think Damon can? Because he usually gets the wrong answers. But sure, you want to throw Damon in here? He X'd up first.
He was first off the draw.
He was
Lurk
first.
was second, and then we got Lurk.
Well, Lurk hasn't played yet. Everybody else has.
That's true.
Oh, hey, look, BK is in there too. BK was promised a spot.
Yeah, BK had a real close one not too many games ago.
Well, I guess the question is Damon drinking? If he's drinking, that might be fun.
I kind of want to hear BK or Lurk, and I'm leaning towards BK, but that's just because I feel a little guilty. I'm the one who made the call on that jump between the two, if I remember.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was close.
All right, I'm gonna flip a coin. Heads or tails, Lurk. Heads or tails? Between you and BK, Lurk. Put it in chat. Heads or tails? I'm waiting for you. Here he is. He's typing. Tails. All right, here we go.
Tails never fails. What we got?
It's tails.
Woo!
There you go. Lurk is up.
BK, I'm sorry, I tried. Lurk, welcome to the show.
Unmuted, Lurk. There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
At least I think I just did. Didn't I? Yeah, you're not muted. You're muted on your end.
Hey, guys. Going.
Hey.
There you are.
Howdy doody. All right, so welcome to Who Wants to Be a Billionaire. We're gonna start right where Rocket had left off. I wasn't supposed to reveal the question or the answer for number 9, so that was an accident on my part. So we're gonna start at question number 10 for 500 mil. And you, since you have 5 questions, we're gonna give you 2 lifelines. Which lifelines would you like?
What am I up?
50.
So you have
phone a friend or poll the audience.
I'll do the 50-50 and the phone a friend.
All right, I heard 50-50 and phone a friend.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, Lurk, are you ready? Question 10 for 500 mil. Which of these is not a filter option for the in-game star charts? Anomaly tier level, ship destroyed in the last 24 hours, security level, sovereignty info.
Destroyed. That's sovereignty. That's security. That's I'm gonna go with A. Anomaly tier level.
Your final answer? Is that your final answer?
Maybe he's thinking.
He's breaking up a little bit. I couldn't understand it if he was saying the final answer.
He said A.
Is he having mic issues on his end?
He muted and unmuted it. I watched him do that, and then he said A after he had unmuted again. So maybe he is having mic issues. Yeah, he's very low when he does speak, but...
Can you hear me better now, guys?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes.
Barely, but yeah, you're there.
All right, yeah, I'd like to lock in A. I'm normally too low.
Okay. A is correct. All right.
That one's a different color green.
Was it?
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, no big deal.
Question number 11 for 750 mil. Hopefully these get harder, right?
I remember sending you some pretty hard ones.
Which of the following is a final reward of the Road to Set Sail tutorial?
Like this one.
Chip, Shield hardening, level 5. Special course or trainer. Omen trainer. 80,000 skill points.
Oh wow! All right. I'm gonna have to use a lifeline on this one.
Which one?
Jeez. No one's gonna know this. Let's just go with 50-50 to help me out.
All right, 50-50. Your options are Charlie or Delta. It's either an Omen trainer or 80,000 skill points.
Road to set sail. Why would they give you an Omen trainer? I'm gonna just have to go with the 80,000 skill points. Lock it in. Take a punt. I don't know, but lock in 80,000.
That's the final, it sounds like.
Well, Lurk, I'd have to say that answer is incorrect.
Oh, ooh.
Sorry,
trainer,
bud.
huh?
Yeah.
Hey, still won
Yep.
500 million.
Oh,
Still won 500 million. So send me that. Send me a DM.
He gave the
Or
answer
it's
away.
like, no, that's
No,
fine because
50-50.
yeah, it was a 50-50 and he answered the wrong.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
whoever got it,
He would have got it. Yeah, true.
it was basically a 50. All right, get BK in here.
Yeah, I was gonna
know
say
he's been itching to play.
Well, he did X up first instantly as soon as Lurk lost. So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We need to go and get him. So he is now unmuted. There you go. BK.
And then real quick, Lurk, DM me. I'll give you my in-game information to send a contract to for 500 mil.
Yeah, thanks
All
for
right.
playing, bud. It sounds like your experience actually kind of bit you in the tail there. I bet Road to Set Sail was months ago for you.
It's a hard question. Yeah.
I've never even done it.
Me either.
Just ignore it.
Where we're going,
right.
we don't need roads.
That's right.
BK, is he
Can you
unmuted?
hear me?
Might do. Yeah, we hear you.
How are you guys?
Thanks for joining, man.
Thanks for joining. You're gonna start off where Rocket and Lurk had left off, so we're actually gonna start you at We're gonna start you at 1 billion. I don't know if I want to give him 1 lifeline or 2 lifelines.
I don't know. It's close. I'd go with. Let me look at the questions here.
1. Well, I'd go with 1
Ooh,
because you're at 1 billion.
that's true. 1 billion is a pretty good cutoff. That is the big number.
We'll give you 1 lifeline and 1 tourist.
Yeah.
And 1 tourist. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
You can ask the tourist whatever you want.
That tourist is Damon Zell. Always keep in mind that whatever answer he gives you, choose the opposite.
Give him a made up lifeline of a 1/4 answer incorrect removal instead of 50-50.
We give you a 2080 and we don't know what that means.
Nice.
Okay. So you got your life.
lifeline.
Oh yeah. What is your chosen lifeline?
I'll take the 20. Is it 2070 or what?
Come again? That sounded like phone a friend, but I'm not 100% on that.
I'll take your 50-50.
Okay. 50-50.
Yep.
All right. Here's a question for 1 billion. What is the northernmost system with at least 1 NPC station? V7 TAC MID, S TAC E VIQ, GOYQ TAC Z, Tama.
I think I'll use a lifeline here.
Okay. All right. Your options are Alpha or Charlie, A, V7 TAC MID, or C, GOYQ TAC Z.
I think I'll go with the. I'm not sure. Don't visit many systems. GOYQ text Z. Final
Your
answer.
final answer? Well, I hate to say it, but that is incorrect.
Oh, bummer.
That is incorrect. Okay, well, thank you for joining. Better luck next time.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep, thank you. You're muted.
Rocket is Xing up again. Okay.
Want to bring it?
Have Damon finish it out.
Have Damon finish it out. Here we go. Damon, unmute.
Damon, are you ready?
Can you answer this question?
Everything opposite, yes.
Hopefully he was paying attention.
Yeah, if he was, can you answer this question?
Which one? This question. It's A, V7.
No hesitation.
I mean,
I actually have stuff stored in that citadel.
What's going on? I can't see.
Final answer.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's his
Final
final
answer is A.
I literally
V7.
cannot hear him.
You can't hear him?
Hold on.
You can't hear me?
No, I cannot.
Hmm.
I have to check my muting status here.
Yeah, we're hearing
Yeah,
him
he
just
shows
fine, and he's showing up on the recording too. So.
Well, I will say it for you there, since you can't hear Damon himself. He said A is the final answer, and I believe that is correct.
Yes.
Based on 50/50.
Oh, this is stupid. I can't even hear him.
That's weird.
There you are.
Okay. Well, according to my phone, he's unmuted on my end, but I can't. I shouldn't click off my PC slideshow to reveal these, because it will reveal these next slides. But anyway.
That's right. We can hear him.
Yeah, just please relay whatever he says.
Okay.
Okay. Question number 13 for 1.5 billion. And which lifeline did he get, by the way?
Oh, good question.
Which ones are what?
Well, you get to pick one.
One of three.
50-50.
Is Maddie in the audience?
Maddie's on the audience. No.
All right, then I can't phone a friend. Do 50-50.
Okay.
Phone a friend, heard. No, I'm just kidding. 50/50.
So he chose 50-50 Rambo. Next question, I guess.
Which tactical module affects the entire fleet? Is it Armor Link, Sinofield Generator, Sea Lion Industrial Command Module, SEAL Industrial Enhanced Module?
Shit. Well, C and D are workable when if it's a mining fleet, they.
I really wish I could hear what he's saying.
He says C and D's for mining fleets.
Oh, one of them dropped the other day too. I know it's a tactical. Okay. It's not B. It's not A because that only goes on wings.
I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
He's speaking. He's speaking. Yeah. He's trying to work his way through it.
He's nugging along.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had the worker that died this week. That dropped the tactical module, which I can't remember if it was a C or a C. I think it was a C line. So fuck it. C. Final answer.
C. Final answer. Yep. Sorry, Crimson. You call these out. Apologies.
No worries.
All right, you got it right.
Oh, man.
And he still has his lifeline, does he?
Yes.
I won't be broke.
Okay. He's gonna need it on this next one, unless he watches a lot of YouTube. Next question for 2 billion. Which of these star systems does not have a pink sun?
Oh, shit.
Is it NB TAC ALM? Is it B TAC T 6BT? Is it HD TAC JVQ? Or is it K TAC 9 UG4?
We're definitely doing a 50-50.
All right. Your options are Charlie and Delta. It's either HD TAC JVQ or K TAC 9 UG4. High def or dog?
Let's have that. I should know this because I died and killed a lot in K9. I don't know if I ever fought on the sun.
You're not supposed to look at the sun, but this is one of these games.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I'm also poor, so I don't want to lose 1.5 million.
It's like you do actually look at the sun. It's kind of like that scope question.
Yeah.
Where, it's one of those little things that maybe not everybody pays attention to when they're flying through. But maybe it's more the name that's the issue rather than the system. Rather than the sun in the system.
I think I'm going to walk away with 1.5.
Rick, what's the color of the sun that's in your system, in your home system?
I think it's red.
What?
You don't know the color of your home system sun?
No,
What?
I think it's I don't know. I think it's reddish orange. I think.
Ask me how many rings Planet 9 has. Go ahead. Ask me.
It's not lightish red. It's not.
Yeah, I'm.
Guess how many moons Planet 10 has in my system? It's got 20 moons.
You didn't
Can
even
you
know
believe
there.
that?
You didn't even know there were moons in the game until like 3 episodes ago, when you were like, "Wait, there's moons? Hold on."
You can see them? What?
You can see them?
They just kind of like sit there. Can I touch them?
That's funny. No, I don't pay attention to that shit. Got too many other things I gotta pay attention to.
Just wait. You log in. You're gonna see.
I
it.
am. I'm gonna go straight to the sun and figure out what color it is.
All right. Well, so Damon Zell's walked away. Do we want to bring in an audience member to take the plunge? They only have the 2 options, and we don't know which one's wrong. So.
And they could walk away with 2 billion.
Yeah, they could walk away with 2 billion for 150-50. It would all come down to a flip of the coin potentially.
It would. Let's.
Or do we want to like Princess and the Tiger this shit and just
Let's.
leave it in?
Yeah. Let's.
Lelouch.
Yep. Exactly. Lelouch. Let's unmute Lelouch and Lelouch. Flip the coin. Is it C or is it D?
I have to think about this first. And Taylor, the sun's orange.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm gonna go with C.
C, high def.
Yep.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct.
Oh.
Wasn't that such an easy 2 bill? So
That's
here's where
amazing.
Here's where this question came from. Actually, believe it or not, a major fight has happened in every single one of these systems and had been posted on YouTube by a content creator. Every single one of these. And in those videos, you actually see that there's a pink sun in them. So it's a very specific question.
Yeah.
But that's a 2 billionist question though.
Yep. Good job, Lelouch. Lucky you.
Yay, I'm not in debt anymore. Yeah, this is what I get for losing the first ever one of these. I came back with a comeback. I'm the first one to win, right?
Yeah, you did. You lost a couple times. Yep. All right, so make sure you send a contract over to or DM over to Rambo, and get that going. Get your $2 billion. I'll mute you. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for playing and getting that ISK. All right, and we are done, so I'm going to stop the stream. Cool.
Well done.
Put that there. Put that there.
Boom. Now I need to figure out my Damon Zell issue. Oh, he's muted on my end. He's muted on my end.
Oh, just on your end. Okay. Is there a difference between?
Mute.
Gotcha.
Rather than server mute.
Was that when he was talking earlier and you wanted to cut him off? Is that what happened?
That was possibly it. Yes.
That was funny.
All right, good deal. Well, we gave away some more ISK tonight, and so that ISK pool is it's going down. Sweet.
Yeah.
For all of those that eventually want to play on Who Wants to Be a Billionaire, be sure to X up during the time. And then also, we need more questions. We seriously need help with more questions for these games because, like, my brain is almost fried trying to come up with questions and difficulties and all that stuff.
When do we record this show? Like, I know it's 8:30 Thursdays Mountain Time, but like, if folks want to play, they should know where to go. You know.
So we start the show at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Mm-hmm.
And then typically I wait about an hour before we start it. So that time, whatever that translates to.
Right.
In UTC.
Y'all do the math on your own personal portion of the.
Well, I believe 8 o'clock is 0300 UTC. So right around there, or 3:30 UTC.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's 4:30 in the morning UTC. So yeah, I mean, an hour and a half ago. So 3 o'clock in the morning for UTC. Yep, that's right.
Then, and actually, I want to do the next show during EU time. So probably, depending on how much ISK we give away during that show, we may or may not have a Who Wants to Be a Billionaire next week. During this time frame, if we have one earlier in the day. So
gotcha.
I guess watch for that ping.
Yeah, we gotta ping folks. Make sure we get contestants because that sounds exciting, especially with a new time slot, a new potential audience. So tell your friends.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's the show. That's the game. That's everything. That's calling it a night. I know it's getting pretty late. We are running on close to a 2-hour show, so that's cool. And man, we just had a great time.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was a jam packed. So
it was.
Was that last question? Was that last question worth like $2 billion?
Oh yeah,
pretty
definitely.
Hard
That's a hard question.
Oh, hardcore. Yeah. That last question was a nightmare.
Also, one you can't just easily look up.
No.
If you know where to look.
Easily look it up.
Yeah, you can easily look it up. Do your homework.
Tried.
Watch all the YouTube videos.
I tried. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of YouTube videos specifically with pink suns. So.
What do you have for pink suns? Like, is this just something you noticed, or like, how do you pick that out? Because I never would have noticed that detail. I love that you picked it. That's rad as hell.
I used to own a system with a pink sun, and the Citadel was right next to it, and so it was basically what you saw every day, right? It was like, cool. You know, every time you warped everything, you had a hue of pink, basically on everything. It changed ship colors and all of that type of stuff. So, but there's people that are into that. They just, hey, pink suns, that's rare, considerably.
Yeah.
The G5s, the oranges, the reds, those are more popular than the pinks.
Oh, yeah.
Even the blue ones. The blue ones are really unique to see too.
Yeah, I think it's what is it? Oh, be a fine girl, kiss me, to like remember the acronym, or the acronym to remember the different types of suns in our actual galaxy. It's cool. Yeah. I like the artistic license that Echoes takes. It's rad. Anyway, I'm sorry, you got me rambling. Let's sign off because I think when I actually get talking.
I was gonna say, for PvPers, for PvPers, they usually have the sun as a warp point on their, I guess, list on the side, because I don't know. There's something like you can solo out the sun. It makes an easy warp GTFO warp point, if you know what I mean. Anyway, all right. Say your goodbyes. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and we shall see you next week. Shout out to all of our other content creators. Go check them out. You know, Damon Zell was with us tonight, and we have a bunch of new content creators like Chicken and heck, Taylor Rick. Even check out some of his YouTube shorts that he posts on our YouTube channel,
Mhm.
and then everybody else out there that's created content. Captain Benzie, Mackenzie, New Eden Radio, Sky News. There's just so many content creators out there. You got to support them all. Well, I'd like to, right?
Yep.
Go read my articles.
Yep. Go read Crimson's articles. They're good stuff.
All right, guys. Say your goodbyes, and we'll close this thing out.
All right. See you guys next week.
See ya.